Red is finally ready to make his first solo flight, and will soon be skywriting the name of our new wine cooler above your home or workplace. So keep an eye on your sky, but do not expect to see the whole name, as we are reducing our skywriting costs by just calling it Ed's Red. We hope you enjoy our new Bartles & James Premium Red Wine Cooler, and thank you for your support.
Chico San, Chico San, Chico San, Chico San.
Chico San crispy rice cakes instead of bread or crackers. 100% whole grain brown rice.
Chico San.
Chico San rice cakes, only 35 calories, but that's not why you love them.
I got it bad and I know, 'cause I crave them from my head right down to my potatoes. Oh, Betty!
She's the best thing that ever happened to potatoes.
Cheese, glorious cheese.
Go ahead, pile it on.
It's the heart of a pizza.
Pile on some more.
Cheese, glorious cheese.
Keep it on frozen pizza.
Try adding some extra.
The more cheese, the better the pizza.
Cheese, mountains of cheese, oodles of cheese. Glorious cheese.
I'm looking for excitement and romance.
The Muppet Baby. Saturday. This week on West 57, Senator Joe Biden.
I believe I'll be the next president of the United States of America.
Welcome to the real world of West 57, Tuesday.
Love, guidance, and support. That's the prescription for prevention. A strong family helps kids resist drugs. Try a little prevention today.
From earliest times, people have sensed a special relationship with bears, probably because they were about our own size, and they even had a tendency to stand up on two legs like we do. They were treated cruelly in the Middle Ages and considered fair game in every era. But recently, we've tended to see them in a kindlier, less aggressive light. In 1902, when Teddy Roosevelt refused to fire on a tethered cub, he gave us a new and useful word. Today, the whole world loves the teddy bear. You will find teddies on picnics, in old print shops, on Christmas lists of a million doting parents, and in the memories of almost anyone who was ever young. Some say the hero of the 20th century's most enduring piece of literature is a teddy bear. And there's even a street named after him in Warsaw, Poland. East and west, we all seem to have room in our hearts for bears. And while the real thing may not be such a cuddlesome creature, it certainly merits our respect. The true home of the polar bear is the pack ice, the area where large sheets of ice alternate with open water. This is where their main prey, seals, are most common. They use their strong sense of smell to find them. During the early spring, polar bears prey extensively on young seals. The baby seals are born in chambers under the snow like this one. Bears are quick to scent out those birth layers and dig out the occupants. When a bear kills a seal, it normally only eats the blubber, giving seabirds and Arctic foxes an opportunity to scavenge the leavings. The Arctic fox is to the polar bear what the jackal is to the African lion. They follow the bears far out into the ice, and probably rely on them exclusively for their food. Though seals form the bear's main prey, walruses are occasionally killed too, but only when a bear can catch an unguarded calf. The bear's sudden approach panics the walrus herd into the water. In the headlong rush to safety, the calves sometimes get left behind. A polar bear has a longer and stronger neck than any of its cousins, which is one of its distinguishing features. These strong neck muscles allow it to drag several hundred pounds of skin and blubber across the ice with ease. Polar bears need to store up as much energy as possible in the form of fat during the spring when the hunting is at its peak. Hunting continues year-round, but when the seasons change, which they do quickly in the Arctic, it becomes far more difficult. During midwinter, polar bears don't hibernate. They live in a world of twilight and darkness. Now they must rely on scent and light reflection from the snow to guide them. They also dig temporary shelters to escape the worst of the winter blizzards. While most bears spend the winter roaming the pack ice, the majority of pregnant females move back to land, where they dig snow dens, and there the young are born in December and January. Early in the new year, the sun once again appears above the horizon. During the weeks of darkness, the mother has remained in her den, nursing her newborn cubs. But as the hours of daylight lengthen and more light filters through the snow, she becomes increasingly active. Finally, in March or early April, the day comes when she decides it's time to emerge. The ever-present Arctic fox takes note. Soon after, she calls out her cubs. This is the first time they have seen the outside world, a world they must quickly come to understand and to dominate. The father plays no part in the rearing of the cubs. His only part in the process is to fertilize the mother, after which he returns to his solitary wanderings. For almost 5 months, the mother has been in the den. Despite her long winter fast, she doesn't begin to search for food immediately. For a week or more, she continues to use the den as her base. It gives the cubs a chance to accustom themselves to the outside world and gain strength through their explorations and play. She often excavates holes nearby where she nurses her young. Twins represent the normal litter, but polar bears often give birth to a single cub, and more rarely, triplets. Finally, the time comes when the mother bear decides to vacate the den site for good. The cubs are now strong enough to make the journey. and she's eager to head out to the ice where she can hunt seals. The bear's departure leaves the den site free for inspection. It's in a typical situation, a snowbank where the female excavated a tunnel several yards long. The furrows on the ceiling show where the bear clawed away more snow during her confinement. At the end of the tunnel lies a chamber where in midwinter she gave birth to her tiny blind cubs, barely 6 inches long. Most females make their dens on land, and the family may have to trek several miles to reach the sealing grounds out on the ice. The mother is very hungry now, but she must temper her eagerness for prey, for the cubs still can't travel very fast. Every so often, she has to stop to give them a rest and a chance to nurse. But the mother's hunger soon has the family on the move again. The bears normally reach the ice within a day or so of leaving the den. They're heading for the area of the open ice, what scientists call the active ice. Its most distinctive feature is the shear zone, the transition point between the ice joined to the land and the moving ice beyond. Here, vertical ridges of ice may extend for miles parallel to the shore. The pack ice, which is home for all polar bears, has a complex structure. The action of currents and wind exerts forces which produce pressure ridges, enormous walls of jumbled ice which can be over 50 feet high. The movement of the ice also produces stretches of open water called leads. Off the north coast of Alaska, they're the favorite haunt of seals. But now the spring is well advanced, and the time of the hunt is on.
Phone bill, I won $1 million. Bob. The get well card. Bob, when I was little, you'd never believe me when I told you I was sick. Alan, you're not fooling anyone. Go to school. But today I get a get well card. Finally, I'm grown up. Alan, you're not fooling anyone. Go to work.
When a loved one is under the weather, you'll find just the right card at Hallmark. The place to go when you care enough to send the very best.
Sometimes cooking gets a little messy. That's why Whirlpool ranges are easy to clean, with cooktops that wipe up quickly and ovens that do the cleaning for you, all to make your world a little easier. Whirlpool.
Soon this street will be teeming with people, tasting exotic foods from all over the world.
Thank you. Is it good?
Good and spicy.
Now Anne is about to experience a problem that's universal.
I've got heartburn. Can you beat that?
As a matter of fact, I can.
Pepto for heartburn?
Sure.
As Pepto coats, it soothes heartburn, as well as upset stomach and diarrhea.
I didn't know you could talk.
I can't.
Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats, is the only one you need.
Polar Bear will continue.
This is CBS.